Hello everybody, my name is Delzar. So today we're doing a little bit of a reaction video. We're checking into something from Foundry. If you do not know what Foundry is, you failed. You failed the assignment of showing up to this stream, or to this video. Congratulations. Anyways, this is Foundry. Lovely people who do incredible breakdowns of either be stories, tropes, or just all around talk about whatever is good in literary fiction, or nonfiction. But yes, please go support the original fucking video. The links will be in the description. If you do not do so, I will be incredibly disappointed and ask you to please never return to this channel. Thank you. Okay, so this is Tail Foundry. This is a video called Interface, Our Horrifying Digital Afterlife, which can only mean so many things that are not completely fucked. Also, at the same time, this was a suggestion. Yeah, I do take suggestions. Don't forget this. Um, A fever dream, a familiar reality, a place where ghosts are consumed in the future and past flow into each other. Welcome to the psychedelic world of Justin Chulmix, or Toonchuck's interface. I could do better, but no. A fever dream, a familiar reality, a place where ghosts are consumed in the future and past flow into each other. Welcome to the psychedelic world of Justin Chunchuk's interface. I wonder which one sounds better, read 1 or read 2. But anyways, the links will be in the description. Please go out in there and support them. If you do not have the time, why are you watching this video? You click off my video, watch the original video. It will give you a much better experience than just watching me. Because I'm going to pause and talk about whatever the fuck I feel like. But thank you if you do stick around and come back. So we're gonna like this video because honestly, we already know Tail Foundry is gonna be goaded. And if you're wondering why doesn't he start the video, I'm giving you time to go watch the original. I'll drag it on as long as I feel. Let's begin.
A couple of weeks ago, I watched what is probably one of the weirdest and most beautiful things ever uploaded to YouTube. Let me just show you a little bit because you really have to see it to believe it.
I don't like sounds like that. You hit me with like weird distortion audio with a little bit of a techno crackling sound in the background. Mm-mm, mm-mm. That's how you know she's about to hit. I like the levels of saturation. Pixar's cool. I'm ready. Um, the
See what I mean?
fuck
Not quite. Okay,
is that?
here's a little more.
Okay, so it's a brain.
I took the stairs.
What the literal hell am I looking at? Because I already could piece together that, like, oh, afterlife, digital things, psychedelic world. So when you die, you can plug your brain into this thing and it continues throughout the internet. But at the same time, the internet's filled with so much vast information that it would formulate and completely be a hell to escape.
This is Interface, a series created by Justin Tomchuk and published to his channel, Umami, between 2017 and 2021. If you haven't already watched it, you should. It's not very long, and I
Hmm.
guarantee it's unlike almost anything else you've seen before. Maybe even do it before you finish this video because there will be some spoilers.
Hmm. Do I go check it out now or do I check it out later? Because the meme thing would be like completely stop this reaction on here, just pause here, Look this up. Watch all of it. But if it's a series, it could be long. I want to at least get like 3 videos done tonight. Nah, fuck it. We're gonna just watch this through, and then I'll go and check out the rest of the interface. It looks interesting as hell. Seems like it has at least some interesting premise thought behind it, between the references to the Bible, biblical shit, America, construction, death, abstract loneliness, the increased saturation and color principles, its distortion qualities, the line weights, the actual really good shading. There's a lot of things I could pick up on it that are just okay. Like you can tell the levels of depth that are inside of it by looking at it. Although I may be rambling a little more than I need to.
If
Anyways,
that's even really possible for this thing. Interface is weird. It simultaneously feels like a kaleidoscopic fever dream, and at the
mm-hmm.
same time, something extremely familiar. It features a world which has, over just a few generations, undergone an indescribable and irreversible change. A world in the process of unraveling and weaving itself back together into a shape no one can quite predict. A world
What
where the old way of life has died and still haunts the future with its ghosts.
the fuck? Get that shit out my sight. No. No, 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 no. Get that shit out my fucking sight. Ugh. I tried to scroll down as fast as possible, but you know, that's what happens when you're taking your hands off the PC and the mouse. I just moved them back as quick as I could to stop it.
Do you ever feel like the main story just isn't enough? When you read a book or watch a movie, are you
Mm-hmm.
left hankering for a fuller experience? More about the characters, the setting, the world it all takes place in? Well,
Also, I'm not yawning because I'm bored. I'm yawning because I'm slightly more tired than I should be. I'm filming at like 10:32.
good news. There's a new way to read that will give you exactly that. Campfire is a platform that allows authors to share as much of their world as they want and makes it all easy for you to find while you're reading. Visit thetalefoundry.com/campfire to get started for free. A big thanks to Campfire for sponsoring this video.
The year was 1943.
Mm-hmm.
Our ship was stationed in Philadelphia and was equipped to generate an electromagnetic field that would make us invisible to the enemy.
What the fuck?
What happened instead? We were teleported to New York. I was destroyed. Forced to regain my physicality.
This is how Mischief, one of the main characters of Interface, describes the event that changed the world forever. A moment known simply as the paradigm shift.
What the fuck? Also, at the same time, that is actually a really fucking cool way of describing what is effectively getting told. Hey, you ripped your entire assembly of your, well, everything apart, and then we reassembled you, and that's what you became. Fucking terrifying. Um, hmm, you know what? We're gonna Google the word paradigm. Typical example of pattern is a model. So this is okay. See more. Similar linguistics. Models just so that a world view underlying the theory to the methodology to particular subject on this discovery universe of gravity to begin paradigms of science. In terms of paradigm, we can look at his book. Okay. Sorry, when I read quickly, I just decide to mumble this shit instead. It is what it is.
It's unclear how or why this shift occurred, but the fallout of this event has forever altered the course of history and the way
Fucking
humans
hell.
live their lives. One of the most obvious changes was the sudden discovery of what they've come to call cerebral electricity. It's a hard thing to describe, as if the concept of inspiration or creativity itself has become a physical substance, this sort of staticky material that leaks out of dead organisms. And if
What
this
the
is
hell?
basically the manifest material of an individual's mind, all the things that informed who or what that thing was and made it unique, now discorporate, removed from their dead body. In a way,
It's your
you could
soul.
almost call that their ghost. Cerebral electricity, according to the scientists tasked with studying it, has always existed, but the events of 1943 snapped it into visibility. What once was unknown to mankind became tangible. And despite the fact that it had existed harmlessly this whole time, its sudden detection was seen by some as a threat.
I was going to actually ask if this is empowered by someone's basically their, you could say their consciousness, who they are as a person. Wouldn't it be arguable to say, hey, this shit effectively can work? Like, some people definitely died in shit ways, and their mind, as they were dying, was screaming and yelling and trying to claw for its way out. And if that's a thing, especially with people building robots like this, Jesus. Yeah, no, the amount of vengeful motherfuckers who are coming back out the grave is going to be skyrocketing.
Not the only one, of course. The paradigm shift also brought with it new life. Monsters to some, friends to others. A big green floating hand thing, a giant purple octopus. Mischief. Strange and surreal beings, like dreams that have escaped the mind and gone to live among the populace. And when
The
I say
fuck?
live, I do mean it. From what we see in the series, it looks as if these beings integrate pretty well into human society.
Hmm.
I mean, the octopus has a job as a sushi chef, the giant green hand raises a child as a single parent for a couple of years.
That's actually super fucking cute. Please tell me that nothing horrible happens here. Because, like, for reference, I like cute shit. As much of an edgelord as I am, I do like cute shit. Um, that's super fucking cute, but I'm worried.
For all we know, most people have just accepted that this is the way that things are now.
And some people are definitely fighting back against it. God damn it.
Even so, I think it would be hard not to worry about at least a few of these changes. The sky
Mm-hmm.
itself is turned red. How do you take that as anything other than a sign of the apocalypse? There are certainly more than a few people out there who do see this paradigm shift as a bad thing, as a marker of the world spinning out of their control. Enter Greetings Robotics, a
What?
government-mandated technology company with the goal of restoring life to the way it was before.
God damn it.
The company has figured out a way to harness that cerebral electricity, those ghosts that I've mentioned before. They've repurposed them into something that humans can use to protect themselves from these changes. The paradigm shift is literally presented as terrorism. The CEO of Greetings
What?
Robotics literally speaks about his company's mission at an anti-terrorism summit. This mindset seems to get a lot of support, especially from other world leaders.
You're not dealing with terrorism, you're dealing with otherworldly creatures. You're dealing with something that almost ripples on some Lovecraftian bullshit. Something that truly does encapsulate what it means to rip apart your ideas of what is reality. Creatures that could not make sense within the functionality of organisms exist. We have hands that fly. They are talking and living, and they aren't even actively aggressive to you. Yet you want to antagonize them. Of course, the story wants that. Because that is what human nature is. While a lot of us are very peaceful people, there is a good, strong majority. Not even majority. There's a good, strong portion that happens to be incredibly antagonistic. Always ready to gun at something else. Always ready to keep going. Always ready to just keep fucking screwing yourselves. And here's another thing. Understanding that these are basically people's souls and minds, taking them from their dead fucking corpses and then using them is horrific. This is awful.
Who I think it's safe to say from our real world experience, tend to be a bit self serving, out of touch. So, what is this solution that Greetings Robotics has proposed? How are they going to turn this cerebral electricity into something to save this dying world? 2 words: the interface. I think anyone with basic computer
Also, what the fuck was I just looking at? Those are fucking ports in your face. Ah, sorry, I was trying to very actively block that out of my brain. Oh. I'm good.
the interface. I think anyone with basic computer literacy knows what an interface is, but that might just be my robotic biases speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Simply put, interfaces are the systems by which the human user of a machine interacts with and controls it. In much the same way, the so-called interface that Greetings Robotics develops is a way that humans more acclimated to the past can interact with it again by living inside of it.
What the fuck?
The interface is an artificial, carefully controlled version of the world that emulates the way things were before this paradigm shift. Even though it's completely artificial, just pre-existing memories whisked together and regurgitated to appear brand new, it's still easier for some people to stomach than watching the world they've known become so very strange.
What the
What is
fuck
it
is
about
wrong
this
with
new
you,
world
you
that has
dummy?
Greetings Robotics scrambling to reverse this paradigm shift in the first place?
Yeah, that's a good
What
question.
is it that these people are
What are you
so
so scared
threatened
of?
by? Remember earlier when I said that there were all kinds of new creatures hanging around, holding down jobs and picking up their kids
They're
from
not all
school?
friendly. Okay.
One of the characters I mentioned then, Mischief, is almost like a mascot for this new world. He was one of the first things to come from the paradigm shift. Before that, Mischief used to be human. In fact, he was one of the humans who was on the ship that was teleported back in 1943 when the paradigm shift occurred. In that moment, Mischief was destroyed, but not killed. He transcended into the pink shape-shifting clown you see before you, shedding his human form
The
and old
fuck?
life for something far greater. Though Mischief lost his humanity, he also seems to have benefited from this shift, gaining a variety of strange powers, as well as what I can only describe as a broader cosmic perspective.
What
Throughout the
the
story,
fuck
we
does
see
that
him
mean?
consuming cerebral electricity as he comes across it, like some sort of creativity scavenger. This new world is a boundless source of inspiration and beauty to him. He frequently stops just to muse
Actually, that's kind of fucking creepy. Because at one point it's like, oh, he's eating, your soul, but at the same time he's like, I wait till you're dead to do this. I'm a scavenger. I'm not actively preying on anyone. I'm just here to make a laugh and a joke. And when you drop dead, I'll be all so funny for me.
about it. So, what do you do if you're an extra-dimensional clown worm with nothing to do besides turn into different things and eat static ghosts? Why, you find a blue guy and follow him around for a while, of course. Enter Henrik. For a lot of the series, it's not quite clear what the two are doing together. It sort of seems like Mischief is just taking him on a sightseeing tour, a dark ride through the weird new world of the post-paradigm shift Toronto.
Fuck.
It seems that way because, as far as I can tell, that's exactly what he's doing. I think what Mischief really wants is to expose Henrik, this sort of innocuous everyman, to the realities of this shift. He's acting as a guide through this new normal, Henrik's
Hmm.
own personal Virgil, just with pink skin and
Oh my god, you're right. If this was. Yeah, it is Virgil. By the way, if you don't remember who Virgil is, Dante's Inferno. At least I'm thinking I'm getting the reference right. I hope I'm getting it
uncanny
right.
smile.
This is how I used to dress.
Shut up. Just shut the fuck up, man. I don't give a damn. fuck, the way you dress, the way that you talk, the way that you look.
Meaningful to know that a creature like Mischief likes to eat noodles, just like everyone else. But the inherent, sort of terrifying weirdness of Mischief cannot be denied. Yeah, he eats noodles, but like I said earlier, he also eats ghosts. Not just that, he really seems to enjoy it, too. There's this one part where he comes across the body of a dead frog, and he's sort of giddy about slurping up the static leaking out of it. He doesn't know very much about frogs. Eating this frog ghost allows him to understand things he never could have as a human, in this case, what it's like to be a frog.
So he eats them and learns their. Oh, that's actually even worse. You get basically all the memories at that point. Of course, you know everything. Your broadened fucking horizons literally expand into all of the fucking people you've eaten. If you know everything that they've ever gone through, you are. Shit, you eat like 5 people across the country, you'll learn shit that you didn't need to learn. The amount of information that you would have to contain within yourself would be incredible.
In the following episode, he spends a while just hanging out in frog form, figuring out how to ribbit, all that, and then ditching that shape as soon as the novelty wears off. That's a kind of cute example. Mischief can be pretty cute, but it gets a lot darker too. There's another part where we find him waiting at the site of a future car accident, just so he can feed on the ghosts.
Jesus.
It's supper time, he says, just before the accident. This isn't just a toppled tree or a heron killing a frog anymore. Mischief is directly benefiting from human suffering. And you have to wonder, does he even care about the deaths he relies on for sustenance? Or is it just dinner and a show for him? In a weird
Honestly, I don't think I'd be mad at this. Like, yeah, you're fucking terrifying to look at. Yeah, you're basically eating people's souls, but at the same time, you lived your life and then you died. Why are you complaining?
way, I do actually get where Mischief is coming from here. The paradigms of our world, here in the reality that you and I occupy, are also changing at an alarming rate. What it means to be creative is evolving faster than any of us could have ever predicted. As the old paradigms die, there's so much displaced inspiration left floating around in the ether. Why not?
I swear, almost every visual that's happening on screen makes me think to myself, ah, yes, it's time to go to bed. Ah, yes, this. This is a good reason to know that you are not ready for this shit. Because this is what Tail Foundry's doing. I can only imagine what the fuck's gonna happen within the time I will actually watch Interface.
Claim it as soon as it becomes available to you. Devour those ghosts and let them fuel you. Turn the ghosts of a bygone time into forward motion? New life? Well, we find out a little later in the story that those ghosts he ate at the site of the accident, they belonged to some of Henrik's family.
Jesus.
Precious memories and experiences digested as supper in his gut. When Mischief realizes this, he muses to Henrik, "What have I consumed? What consumes you?" A very real
Fuck.
recognition that perhaps not all ghosts are for devouring, that some elements of the past, once lost in the fevered pursuit of a dreamlike future, can never be recovered. That's what the interface is for. Like I
Yeah?
mentioned earlier, not everyone is enjoying this strange future as much as Mischief. Not everyone wants to see their past reduced to pure nutrients for the future. And the
Jesus.
CEO of Greetings Robotics, Joseph Greetings, aims to keep that from happening. Like Mischief, he was on the ship that teleported back in 1943. But unlike Mischief, instead of transcending, he was traumatized. While
Jesus.
Mischief was off, essentially becoming a god, Joseph had to bear witness to his shipmates' bodies fusing with the hull of the ship.
What the hell? I'm sorry. If I'm correct, the hole is like the bottom portion, right? And the way that I'm picturing it is like from the waist down, and it's connecting them to the bottom section, like outside, so their heads are underwater, and they're just like, for one moment I was, wiping the deck, swapping the floor, sweeping off some shit, getting some trash out, I was cooking, and then the next moment everyone's drowning as they're just been melded to the fucking metal.
He heard their muffled screams from
Yep,
beneath the
yep,
metal,
that's what I thought.
saw the severed pieces of their bodies drifting away on plumes of static gore. He literally witnessed their ghosts departing from their bodies.
Jeez.
When Joseph sees Mischief's new form, it isn't as a transcendent, godlike being, but as another unmistakably monstrous result of the paradigm shift. Knowing all this, can we really blame him for treating this new world as something to fear?
Oh yeah, no,
Maybe the
that's
framing of these
fear.
new
I
creatures
was
and substances
terrified.
as agents of terrorism isn't completely baseless.
Terrorism, no.
Maybe there
Global
is a
fucking
need to defend the
concern
world
should be
from them.
alarmed. Yes.
That's why, before he finished the interface, he created a weapon against this new post-paradigm world. Kami. Kami serves as the villain for much of the
Kinetic
series.
autonomous mechanical
She's a
interference.
robot fueled by cerebral electricity, designed with the sole purpose of hunting down and destroying things that resulted from the paradigm shift. But, of course, she doesn't just destroy them. Like Mischief, she consumes them. She's how
Jesus.
Greetings Robotics first answers the problem of restoring life as it was before, and she is devastatingly effective in that role, even when it sometimes looks like separating a child from the giant green hand thing that raised her.
No! I knew there was something fucked up that was gonna happen. I knew it. 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 Because nothing good ever happens and stays. All of these bad things happen and they never, ever let the good ones continue. This is the shit that makes me cry. It's the shit that makes me beg. But god damn it. Why? Why?
Or utterly obliterating the local sushi chef. Kami and the interface, the two major developments from Greetings Robotics, were created with the express purpose of destroying the new and preserving the old. Joseph Greetings, who saw fit to create these things, is sort of a figurehead for everyone who longs to go back to the nostalgia and security of the past.
Watch it be that he's
He
one
and
of those
those like
fucking
him
creatures like
are
Mischief.
convinced that if they don't do something to stop this change from snowballing, they'll become obsolete, lost in the turning of the world,
I
ground to
mean,
dust and forgotten,
obsolescence isn't the
the death
worst.
of the old world. This fear, as reactionary as it may seem, is also sort of justified.
Yeah.
Even in the real world, change is scary.
Stuffed
It
animals deserve to
necessitates
be
danger.
kept.
As the world
Anyone who
turns and
says
paradigms
otherwise,
shift,
fuck yourself.
things are bound to be lost. Precious things. I think the desire to preserve them is only natural, but ultimately, you just can't hold on to the past forever, can you? If nothing ever changed, nothing
It is
would ever change. Progress would cease. Reality would be a purgatory.
Also, at the same time, as much as I love this, looking at this actually is fucking hurting my eyes. Like, the psychedelic weird shit behind it, not that bad. The actual pixelation is deeply unsettling to me. Well, not unsettling. Unnerving? No, it's not an emotional distress. It's actually just physically my eyes hurt looking at
Your
it.
children and their children and their children's children would repeat the same pattern over
Wait,
and
is that a
over
3D
until the
effect?
cosmos collapsed
Or is
into a
it
mundane
2D? It feels
pattern
like.
preserved for its
Huh.
own sake. Kami and Mischief may both consume ghosts, but unlike Mischief, Kami isn't just doing it for nourishment. Kami is holding them hostage, collecting them for the construction of the interface. She and her master are building an idyllic replica of the world that once was, but it's
Jesus.
also a world made of ghosts. Not really a life at all, but an afterlife, unchanging, doomed to an eternity of sameness. Maybe that's what some people want. To me, it sounds like hell.
Yeah, no, that is
Through
hell.
all of
That
this,
actually is hell.
Henrik.
To an extent, I could. It's weird to say it out loud, but I might actually prefer for Mischief to devour my fucking entirety. Because at least for that, I'm used up as some form of nutrients instead of being kept alive in a prison dimension.
Has been quiet. He's not just some hapless tourist on Mischief's sightseeing journey. He's not just some blue guy. In fact, he's barely a guy at all at this point. Like Mischief, Henrik was also affected by the paradigm shift. He's been alive for more than 100 years at this point. He's seen the worst of
Ooh.
mankind in his work as a photographer, shooting images of warfare. And he's seen the best, too, in his family. But that's all gone now. His family died in that car crash, remember?
Ah,
The one Mischief was
shit.
waiting for? Supper time. So now, immortal, a product of the new world still yearning for the ghosts of his past. What is he to do? At the end of the series, the choices are laid out for him. Live within the interface and be reunited with his dead loved ones, even though they're artificial. Or accept that they're gone and face his uncertain future without them.
I
Is
would say
that
face
sounding
the
a little
future.
relatable? I think it should be. As our world changes, we find ourselves trapped in a similar dilemma.
Mm-hmm.
You and me and everyone else who is caught between these two poles, yanked back and forth in the gray area between accepting and rejecting change. The world we
I've given up on rejecting it at this point. Every time I've ever decided to go, no, I don't need. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. You can't stop change. That shit's fucking inevitable. Nope.
knew is dying, and we're facing its ghosts for the first time. If you were Mischief, you would love this. You would be eager to forget the past, devour the things that brought you here, and make new life out of them. Experience is everything. The paradigm must be made to shift. If you were Joseph Greetings, you would be terrified. You would cling to the past,
Yeah.
devour everything you can before it can be lost, and hold it in the belly of your memory forever. The paradigm is everything. It must not be allowed to shift. In the end, Henrik ends up in a world without either of them.
What?
A world with a red sky and strange creatures, and this man who is not a man, carrying his past within him, choosing to live in the uncertain but undeniably beautiful present. The ghosts were always there, and always will be. The trick, it turns out, is living alongside them.
Shit.
An enormous old farmhouse crouches on the
Nope.
outskirts of a
Nope. No.
village.
Nope.
The
Wrong
house is
page. One thing
separated
here.
from the rest of the...
Go back.
A couple of weeks ago, I watched... Sometimes I just want to bring his past within him.
There you go. Sorry, I was trying to do
choosing to
my
live in the
best to like
uncertain
skip around
but
the ad,
undeniably
going back and
beautiful
forth between videos.
present. The ghosts were always there, and always will be. The trick, it turns out, is living alongside them. Whew. Gotta be honest here. This was kind of a hard one to talk about.
Yeah.
It's not really much of a story, per se. It's more of an experience, which is actually pretty refreshing. I've always thought of a story as more than just a series of events. It's not just things happening, right? Sometimes I just want to hear about the author's weird idea for alien plant life, or I want to get the backstory on that bizarre side character from Chapter 3, or maybe I just want to visualize what the world of the story looks like.
I would
Unfortunately,
love that.
there's never really been a good medium for that kind of experience. Books and movies tend to be very plot-oriented, and games are very limited by the resources available to the development team. But wouldn't it be awesome if there were just some easy way to do all of this? To get as much of a world as an author is willing to share with you? No restrictions? You can probably already tell where I'm going with this. Someone
Ooh,
has, in fact,
there's an app for
already
this?
made this. It's a little app called Campfire, and it just so happens to be this video's sponsor.
What?
When you first look at this thing, it kind of just seems like a reading app. And
Yeah,
you
I thought
can read
that's
on
what
it,
it
of
was. I thought
course.
you just
In
did
fact,
stories.
the reading experience is outstanding. You can save your favorite titles to bookshelves, make custom selections, organize your to be read, everything you'd expect from a reading app. But the thing that really makes Campfire incredible is that it's so interactive. Every book is also, basically, its own entire fan wiki, except this time
What?
everything is canon. Every title comes with its own character profiles, interactive maps, exclusive short stories.
Mm. Sorry, for reference, I've been looking for a place to do publishing, right? And also, shit, there's a lot of things that could go. Ooh, I'm gonna check this out. That's one of those things where like, ooh, we're definitely checking out Campfire again. Give me a second. I'm clearing out my phone so I can read fucking notifications. Okay, yeah.
Whatever the author decides to include. That's right, you heard me. The authors are part of this too. They're right here on the app, creating these experiences firsthand. It's really a whole different approach to the
If that's the case, I could actually write the lore for my story and do what I want to do, which is basically episodic short stories. Like, as you can, they're not short stories at all. It's going to be following one main character, but like, the Raid T is still going to be voted on the YouTube section and everything. It's just college work has been killing me, so I haven't had time to really be doing it as much as I wanted to.
publishing industry altogether. No more layers of bureaucratic separation between the creator and their audience. You're both right here, making and enjoying these worlds together. You could even reach out and say hi. Heck, you
Oh,
could
that's
become
cute.
one of them if you wanted to. And you really might just want to. Authors on Campfire earn higher royalties than on any other platform. So when
Wait, hold up. Royalties? Shit, I was willing to do this shit for free. Yo, so we may be looking at Campfire soon. I was thinking about going to Royal Road, but like Royal Road doesn't allow me to do the cool road building bullshit that I wanted to do. This allows me to do cool road build. I have to check in and be like, what's the catch here? Sun's up.
you buy a book there, you know you're mainly supporting the artist, not just some massive faceless corporation.
Though I'm
To
not done
create a
with the
free
entirety of
account
the
and
book.
start exploring, just visit the link on screen right now or click the link in the description.
I'll
I
check it out
hope
later.
you'll give it a try.
The links will be in the description for y'all as well. Please go out there and
Anyway,
check them out.
that's all for this one. Thanks for watching and keep making stuff up. I'll see you next week. Bye.
Dun, 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 dun. Like this video, comment on this video, subscribe. Wait, no, don't do that to this video.
A couple of weeks ago,
Do that to the original video. If you don't mind, I would like for everyone here to do yourself a favor. A beautiful, magnificent, and most definitely probably also incredibly weird favor. Hold up, I'm trying to go back somewhere because I know there's a certain thing I want to look for. Where's the image? Come on, I know one of you bitches is the one that hurt my brain. If we're gonna have something to talk about, I might as well use the really pretty image. Yep, there you go.
last forever. Can be and obsolete, lost in the turning of the world, ground to dust and forgotten. The death turned over until the cauldrons should be whatever.
Yeah, anyways, like, comment, subscribe, check out the original video if you don't mind. Yeah. As for myself, however, you can like me if you enjoyed. Comment because you have something to say. And subscribe because you think I am somebody who is worthy of your subscription. And at the same time, because you think you want to come back around and support. It'd be really nice if you did. I do have links in the description for different purposes. Be it liking the video, be it for my other socials, the YouTube membership if you want to see things a little bit early. Or another neat thing, um, you can, check out the commissions for pixel art and 3D models. It'd be really helpful if you did. Thank you. And yeah, I think that's all around it. Yeah. Have a lovely day and goodbye, everybody.